Hey everybody, I'm here with the tutorial on the spine for my TNs. I started doing this and I forgot to record. So some of you have been wanting to see a tutorial on this spine. Now I'm not going to do the tutorial on the cover because I do have tutorials on that, and I do have a playlist that's always linked down below to every video that I do for TN tutorials. That means anything to do with TNs that I have made tutorials for. So check that down below. All we're going to do is add this. Now, typically you would want to do it to a brand new cover that you're just going to build from scratch. You don't want to add the pockets or anything, but I have TNs that are in my shop that I'm saying are naked because they don't have the spines. I hadn't sold them yet, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put that scallop spine on these already made ones. So I took them out of their packaging. I have started putting them in these sleeves now to keep them from getting dusty. So you can cover a pre-existing TN. That's what I did with this one. This was already made before I had put this. So all you got to do is gut it, remove the elastic, and then go ahead and adhere it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I have these two TNs. They are pocket size. I took out the inserts. These are the ones that are going to be in the shop. By the time I'm done with this video, it should already be back in. Everything else, these already been in there. So everything, the pictures and everything from the inside, they're all going to be the same like they were before. The only difference is the first picture will have the scalloped border on that edge. So it's been gutted. I got my covers. Again, preferably you want to do this without your pockets in there, but since this is already done, yes, you can still do it. It's just going to make it a little harder. And these are the pocket size. They measure, the cover itself measures 8.5 by 6 for my measurements. This is just how I make mine. You can make it any size you want. There's other tutorials out there. And it's already been, you know, punched before, so I already have my holes that I'm going to go by later on. The material that I've used to make these covers, this glitter stuff, is found in the felt section of Hobby Lobby. They are sheets. They're, I want to tell you, $179, $149, somewhere around there. I rarely see them on sale. And then the inside is felt from the same aisle for this particular one, but I do cover mine the inside with a felt, and then I do use this adhesive, and this is what I'm going to use now to put my spine. So we're going to be working with that, and I'm using the material also from Hobby Lobby that comes on a spool like this, and I always get them when they're on sale, half off. They're in the ribbon aisles over by the fabric on the very bottom shelf. So this is what I'm going to use for that particular cover, and I've already started drawing. Now I had cut a piece, I left the length of it, which is normally 8 inches and like a quarter, so 1 1/4 inches is the width of this, but I cut down a strip to about 3.5, and I'm going to use this felt marker, which is a flare pen, to draw scallops by hand. Okay, I do that by hand. Now I'm not going to worry too much about whether my scallops look exactly the same on this side. When I put it down to my TN, then I'll make sure that the nicer side is on the front. So we're just going to hand draw some scallops on here. And you can make a deeper scallop or a more narrow scallop. I'm just trying to do like just a decent size scallop. Suggestions: you can actually die cut a scallop and make like a template. Maybe look online for a template and then just trace it if you're not secure about your drawing. So you do want to use some kind of a felt or something that will write on this, because the back of this material feels like felt. Okay, so we're going to test this out and see. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good, because sometimes it's either too wide or not too wide. Not wide enough. We're going to cut our thing, and we're going to make sure we cut out all this ink, because when you adhere this down to your material, this fiber back here wants to stretch and it's going to pull apart. I just redid another one. I was recording this, but I kind of I forgot to record and end up not recording the whole thing. So I redid this one just before I started this. And what happens is the adhesive, it sticks to the fiber and it sticks to your other material. But this top layer here is not stuck to it. So it's pulling on the fiber. If you leave your ink marks, it's going to show. And I'm going to show you in a second. I don't know if it's going to show on camera, but you see there, it does show. You see that black stuff? It's because I didn't cut away the ink, and it will pull and you will see it. So here at least, I mean, yes, if you really look closely, you'll see the fibers being pulled, but you won't see that black mark or whatever marker you use. So again, I had just redone this one with a different material. So this one's in the shop. And you'll see whatever I have in the shop. So now we're going to cut this out carefully and making sure that none of that marker is going to stay. We're cutting it off. And this cuts easily with your scissors. So I'm just going to follow and just keep cutting. I don't know if you could see, but I'm literally not cutting on the black. I'm cutting that completely off. I'm giving it a border there, if you can see. I don't want any of that to show. So we're cutting within it. If you're different, you know, it's going to matter, or it's going to be different as far as like if you use a different kind of material that maybe is not fibrous like this. Just test it out. You will only see it once you start to fold that material and everything wants to pull away. So I don't think there's any, I think that'll be okay. So there's one side. You can see the scallop there. And I'm just going to do the other side off camera. I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished cutting that other one. You can see that there's a space between the black line and then where I cut, so that there's nothing on here. This is going to be longer than what you need, as you can see, but what we're going to do is right now I'm going to see where I'm going to cut this, and I'm just going to see, I'm going to, let's see here, which side looks better, maybe this side. Actually, this scallop right here is like perfect, but it's not here, you see, and I really don't care. I'm just going to like even it out. Okay, I think it'll be fine. So we're going to spray this whole strip. I'm going to be off camera. I'm not going to do it on camera. I'm putting this on a cardboard, and then you got to spray this about 6 to 8 inches away. You want to shake it first. I'm going to saturate this with my adhesive. I did find this at Walmart, in case you want to know, but it's sold pretty much everywhere. I do get this big bottle, but it does come smaller, so you know, you have that option. And actually, no, I'm sorry, I got this bigger one at Joann's.com because I got it cheap. It was like a sale or something, or I used a coupon, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to saturate this. Now when you do that, it's going to make this a lot more pliable and loose. So once you spray it, you're going to quickly put down your cover, and you're going to eyeball it, center it, make sure your scallops are where you want them. Put it down real quick, let it grab on, and then take it away, because there's going to be around this, there's going to be glue everywhere. So you're just going to kind of do this. Don't press this down onto that adhesive, and then take it away. Or lift this real quick, have this on another surface, and then carefully place it down. But when you do that, don't stretch it. So what I had done, instead of lifting my sticky thing, I just kind of done this, let it grab on, and then just pull this away real quick before my covers hit that adhesive that's on the cardboard. And I had another cardboard ready for me, and then I put it down and pressed, and then I use this here, which is actually the spool that comes on here. These plastic things come right off, and then we're going to do this to it. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm like moving really fast now. I've adhered it, and now this part is sticky, but that's okay. We're going to leave that there for a second. We're just going to roll this on and just make sure that everything goes down. Especially the spine. Again, I sprayed this. I didn't spray this because you don't really want to get the glue all over it. Now we need to lift this up. I'm going to remove this now because now this area here is sticky. And again, this is now stretchy for some reason. So just, you know, don't worry about it. Just don't pull on it is what I'm trying to say. I do want to get that excess off. But let's see, now I'm just going to use my hands. And I want to cut this off. I'm just going to let it dry for a second. So we're going to take a second or two. It's just tacky now, but I'm just going to still wait a little bit longer, so I'll be right back. It's still a little tacky, but I really want to press this down while it's still kind of wet, so I'm using my Tim Holtz Tim Holtz scissors, because they are supposedly non-stick, and I'm just going to cut that away now so I can keep pressing it. For some reason, I feel like I didn't have this much trouble last time. I just want to make sure that this edge is pressed down with that roller. It's because of the pockets, and that's why it's preferably that you do this from scratch without pockets. This way you don't have to worry too much about this, and I could have used a roller. Alright. And I'll clean my scissors later. It should come off. Alright, so now I'm going to keep rolling this better. Now that that's out of the way, I'm really applying a lot of pressure, and that's why I like this cardboard thing, because it's really thick. Actually came out pretty good. I'm trying to get this straight. Once you've done this, then you just gotta let it sit for a while. It says it takes about an hour to set. Okay, so I thought I would come back. I was gonna end it, but then you know what? It's been a little while, so this is pretty much dry enough for me to work with. So what I'm gonna do before I make my holes is I'm just gonna wrap this around here and just kind of form it a little bit. Don't worry if you get like bubbles, and let's see if there is any here. I don't feel them, but there might be spots that, you know, just didn't adhere very good. And here I feel like it's okay. Oh, right there, you see that? There's a bubble there. That for some reason didn't adhere, even though we did all of this. Either I didn't spray it in that one spot enough. It's okay. Once you put your strings in and you put all your booklets and everything, that's not going to show, because most of the time your planner is going to be like this, and then when you work with it, it's going to be like this, right? Don't worry about it. As long as you've adhered the majority of this, especially on the edges, you're good to go. So let's just go ahead and repunch our holes using what we already have in here. Again, there's a tutorial on how I put these together and make holes and everything. So if you're not working with a pre-made TN like this, then just look for that tutorial. So we're just going to, I'm using my Crop-A-Dowel on the 1/8, the smallest hole that I have on here, and just following the holes I already have. and then we'll restring it. Now I'm gonna have less string to work with because I do cut them down after I'm done, and I want to reuse what I have, so we're just gonna see if it's enough to make knots. I think with that white one it is. I think that white elastic is kind of stretchier than others. Okay, so sometimes they don't all pop out. You can just pull them out. Okay, we're good. And this time I'm going to be using something that I've never showed on camera before because this is something new to me. I've only used it once. I've got this needle here, and it's just a large plastic needle. Where's the packaging? These I bought at Joann's.com. You get 2 in the package, and it's really like a kid's needle. Oh, let me drink some water. But I thought I would go ahead and try this out, and it actually works great if you can thread it, which I think I should be able to, especially for me since I do so many TNs. Sometimes it's harder, and I really didn't want to cut this down anymore. There we go. So you just want to pull it enough. Now one end I'm not going to, because at one side you always have to leave, so we're just going to put it through the hole right there and leave enough like past the middle to tie. I might, you know, end up having to pull it more, but for now we're just going to thread this and use the needle. It works a lot better, and yeah, so this is the second time I'm using this actually, and I absolutely love it. You want to make sure that you've waited for your TN to completely dry after you've adhered that spine, or else you can peel apart that spine. So like I said, that spray, I think it gives you, it says about an hour for it to set. So, and then once you get to the end, it's a little harder, but you're going to go back into the middle there, pull, and then you can just let that go. And we're going to do a little bit of pulling here and there so everything can even out. I want my knot to be in the middle. Okay. And now, and normally I have more on here to play with when I make my knot because I usually cut a lot more than I need. But since we're reusing this elastic, there's less to work with. But the knot needs to be pretty small here as far as, uh-oh, it's gonna get undone. Oh no. There we go. I'm like pulling on all 4 sides right now. See? That's where you need extra. If not, just cut a new piece. I do have more of this stuff. I'm just trying not to, might have to just do it, huh? I have a hard time already with my fingers trying to make knots and bows. That this is not. There we go. Now that's probably too much. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's too much. I might have to just redo it again. But you get the idea. And maybe not. It's not pinching here, so that's good. But there's that spine. Now we're just going to put back our middle one here. I'm going to put the inserts and see if it pulls or pinches anywhere. If it does, I'm just going to use a new elastic. I won't do it on camera though. Okay, so we reused that. That was fine. I think once I get my inserts in here, it'll stay fine. So let's just get these back in. And okay, the folder. pockets. So if that works out, I'll cut that a little shorter. Okay, so I think we're good. I think it's fine. So there is our finished TN with the scalloped spine. Really pretty. I don't know if I had mentioned it because I had taken an hour break, but this one is actually not pulling so much on the fibers because see, this is the second one. I'm letting these dry a little bit longer before I start bending this over, because once you start doing this, this is when it wants to pull apart. So it's not pulling that much, but I think it is so cute with that spine. And you could do any shape. You could just do a straight spine too. You don't have to do a scallop, or you can do one of those, like, I don't know what it's called, like a tab kind of thing. But yeah, the scallop is really cute. So that's my tutorial finally. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.